The $36,495 starting price for the 2024 Kia Carnival LX includes parking sensors, removable second-row seats, LED headlamps, and lane follow assist. The LX Plus makes it $40,000, adding 2 rows of heated seating, wireless phone charging, push-button start, power sliding doors, a power tailgate, and multi-zone climate control. The EX trim grade brings the ask to $44,000 with the Kia Connect system, LED tail lamps, blind spot collision avoidance assist, rear cross-traffic collision avoidance assist, and advanced smart cruise control. Step up to the EX Plus for $47,295, and it's a 12.3-inch multimedia interface with navigation, an additional 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster screen, bird's eye parking monitor, full dual LED headlights, and LED fog lamps. My tester is the Carnival's fully loaded option, the SX, priced at $50,000. It includes 2 sunroofs, both of which actually open, leather seating, Bose audio, a passenger view camera system, and VIP lounge second-row seats. More on those later. To me, going fully loaded is the way to do it here, especially since the extra features in the SX are really easy to appreciate if you do a lot of long-distance driving. If you're on a more modest budget, then consider starting with the EX trim grade because that's where the must-have safety features really begin joining the options list. It's hard to fault the Carnival for its road feel and driving manners. My tester proved a skilled highway cruiser, making hours of road tripping disappear in peace and quiet with a ride that's generally soft but not too floaty, and a highly rigid body structure that imparts a solid and dense feel beneath the driver. Noise levels are appreciably hushed at a good cruising clip, outward sightlines impart confidence, and the van feels thick and stable beneath you. Control over typical tire and suspension noises on smooth highways, as well as much of the ride quality itself, border on the territory of luxury sedans. Add in the must-have turn signal camera displays, and both radar cruise and lane keeping functions that work discreetly and predictably, and you can expect to feel set up wonderfully for long-distance driving. The Carnival's drive feels more large car than inflatable bouncy castle, and I found it to deliver a more carefully tuned feel than the Pacifica all-wheel drive across many of the same testing situations. Because of their size and shape, it's tricky to make minivans feel extremely solid and remain quiet inside on very rough roads. Engineers have various ways to counter these challenges, largely through structural stiffening, and they've been deployed very well on the Carnival. So while visiting my worst-case scenario testing surface, I did find the Pacifica's ride to be softer overall, as its suspension gets kicked and pummeled by potholes and frost-heaved asphalt chasms beneath. In the Pacifica, less of the impact ultimately makes its way to the driver. At times, though, too much of the momentum from the surface of the road can make its way into the Pacifica's suspension and body, resulting in sometimes dramatic bouncing. So to compare, the Carnival's ride on this same surface is a touch stiffer beneath the driver but a lot more stable. Versus the Pacifica, you feel a bit more of the rough surface through your butt and back in the Carnival, but virtually none of it through the motions of the Carnival's body. Point is, in the Kia, the ride on extremely rough surfaces is slightly less comfortable, but ultimately much more controlled than that of the Pacifica. I found the Carnival much quieter too. Cabin noise levels and the sound of air moving or drumming through the cabin on rough roads were a main complaint in the Pacifica, but proved surprisingly well muted and controlled in the Carnival. Still, the Kia's cabin had a few more panel and trim rattles than I was expecting here. In tighter quarters, I appreciated the Carnival's light effort steering with plenty of slice to the front wheels. These turned sharper than expected, making this machine feel easier to maneuver more tidily than its size might suggest. The high-resolution backup camera and a round-view camera system helps here too. Add in power sliding doors and tailgate accessible from the driver's seat or the remote, and you've got a recipe for quick pickups and drop-offs of passengers and cargo as you move throughout your day. The Carnival's V6 engine is happy to do its job quietly and smoothly, rarely making much of a peep or otherwise announcing itself to lighter-footed drivers. If you've got a heavier boot, use Sport mode and be generous with the revs for maximum response. In other drive modes, performance can feel sluggish, though it is a smooth and easy setup for fuel-efficient driving when you're not in a rush. If you're not shy with the throttle, you'll find adequate reserves of power for quick passing and merging, but as it tends to go with a vehicle this size, those with a heavy foot should account for the added fuel consumption of their driving habits. The brakes are nicely done, the pedal feels precise but not touchy in traffic, and panic stops are easy to engage without excessive legwork. Rather than engaging your entire quads, just a quick flick of the ankle on the brake pedal is typically sufficient to pull the Carnival down from speed in a hurry. I noted a hint of the Carnival's careful suspension tuning and hard stopping tests too. Though hard braking does cause plenty of nosedive, the front end takes a set quickly, and the vehicle remains more responsive to subsequent steering inputs than I expected. Third row seats can be one-handed into position by most adults with 2 simple tugs, revealing a deep storage well in the back of the cargo area with room for, say, 3 camping coolers. The seats disappear back into that well in a matter of seconds as needed. My tester's second row VIP lounge seating was a must-have. This pair of heated captain's chairs can recline almost fully flat, giving each occupant a footrest to lay back and take a nap while the vehicle isn't moving. And as a back sleeper, I can confirm that these seats turned in 2 decent nights of sleep on a camping trip, which I figure beats the heck out of setting up a tent. Not only do these seats work great for naps and sleeping, they can also slide far enough back to give even full-grown adults enough legroom that most will struggle to touch the first row seat backs with their toes. Then there's that much cargo room again behind you in the process. So a tremendous amount of room. First row seating in my tester was both heated and ventilated, and I appreciated the redundant passenger seat controls mounted against the inboard bolster. These allow drivers to adjust the passenger seat without taking their eyes off the road, perhaps to recline a snoozing passenger or clear room for a larger one to board. If you need to transport 4 big adults with their things and a lot of comfort, and with a ton of space to spare, I don't think it gets much better than this. I also need you to understand about the power outlets, which the interior is covered with. There are even USB charge ports built into the front seat backs, for heaven's sake. It is very easy to keep even a techie family's worth of mobile devices juiced up on the go here. It is a lot of great stuff for $50,000. If you liked this video, we've got plenty more like it, so consider hitting the subscribe button down below so you never miss a new upload, leaving a like if you learned something new, and until next time, take care and drive safe.